Brace yourself, Ruby fans. You're going to want to take a seat. We have cut Ruby Medallion. That's right. We've cut Ruby Medallion from Ruby Storm. First, we cut bonus round, and now we're cutting Ruby Medallion. That's where we're going. That's what we're doing tonight. And I'm really, really, really excited to play two of my favorite Modern Horizons 2 cards. The first being Strike It Rich, and the second being Galvanic Relay. We get to play both of those in the main deck tonight. Full play sets, 8 copies total. It's going to be sweet. Let's dive into the deck list. So we have our 12 lands. We've actually shaved a land from a stereotypical list, and I'll get there in just a second. But we're still running the White Splash. We're not running Silence in the board tonight, but we are still running the 4 copies of Rip Apart. This list, the White Splash, is rather free, and I thought that it was the best part about the previous list that I played. So we are running 4 copies of Rip It Apart to get with Burning Wish and to side in and deal with things like Deafening Silence, which is traditionally a problem for Ruby Storm. So we have our fetches, we have our 1 plateau, 12 lands total, there's typically 13. Chrome Mox is pretty standard, and then 4 copies of Mox Opal. Traditionally with Ruby Storm, some players tried to support Mox Opal much like the Epic Storm, but they failed. Part of that was their artifacts are a little bit costly. So this list has a bunch of artifacts. So you see the 11 stock right here. So Mox Opal, 15, but you're not really counting the other copies. And then we get to Striker Rich, which makes a treasure / Lotus Petal token. Those are artifacts. And then Defense Grid. This actually brings us up to 23 total artifacts, not counting the back of Bergie. Horn of Bounty is a artifact, so if you want to count those, it's 27. That's a lot of artifacts. It's pretty sweet, so we can definitely support Mox Opal. So unlike any list that's ever been ran before for Ruby Storm, we have Chrome Mox, we have Mox Opal, we have Rite of Flame. Those 3 together, pretty unique. Most lists have never combined those, but we're also adding in Strike It Rich. Striker Rich sort of stole the Ruby Medallion slot, although Ruby Medallion is an artifact, it's a little bit more costly. When I was trying to find room for everything I wanted to put into this deck, Seething Song was the obvious card that needed to be cut. And that's because we're trying to play a bunch of smaller cards, so Chrome Mox, Diamond, Petal, all these good cards, to ramp into Galvanic Relay. Well, Seething Song doesn't do that very well, and that's the biggest issue. We're trying to just play as many spells as we can on turn 1, and then relay, and then do it again the next turn, and just overwhelm our opponent. The plan with this version of Ruby Storm is to overwhelm blue decks, and that's what we're going to do tonight. I promise it will work, so stick around and watch that. But we're going to overwhelm our opponents with small effects. Seething Song is not a small effect. It's costly, it gets hit by a counter spell, and then you lose your entire spell chain. We're not looking to do that. We're just looking to dance around Force of Will and then plow through with a relay. And have I ever mentioned how good Strike It Rich is off of Rite of Flame? It's beautiful. So it gives you, the blue mana for Echo of Aeons or the white mana for Rip Apart. It's truly awesome. You can even with this list hardcast Peer into the Abyss without a Lion's Eye Diamond if you need to, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, and then Strike It Rich, while it does seem to just replace itself, when you have a Burgeoning play, it is +1 mana and +1 Storm. Similarly, with Manamorphose, Ruby Medallion is no longer reducing the 1 colorless. So you're going to need Burgie in order to make mana off of Manamorphose. That said, when I was looking at this deck list, and what led me to cut Ruby Medallion was, there's not a lot of effects that you're actually gaining the effect from Ruby Medallion from. So when we look at it, it's Burning Wish, Manamorphose, Burgie, Relay, and Will. So you have 20 cards? I guess that's fine, but is that really where you want to be? It's kind of low to be playing, a Helm effect. Helm of Awakening, for those of you unaware. And I think you're just better off playing better mana, and that's what we're doing tonight. We're playing better mana. So we get Opal, we get Rite of Flame, and we get Strike It Rich. I am a true believer in how great Galvanic Relay is going to be. I cannot wait to play this. Burgie's pretty good. I did consider cutting Burgie and keeping Ruby, but that doesn't make sense. We have enough artifacts, and we do need action spells. This list, I'm a tiny bit worried about being action spell light. You could cut Manamorphose for more Ignite the Future. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest, because we are just looking for relay spells. I think that the main deck's probably fine, but that is one area that you could look to smooth, is these Morpho slots could be something else. So I'm confident in 56 of the main deck cards. I am not as confident in Manamorphose. And then Jessica's Will is just the greatest Seething Song of all time. The card's bananas. It's the reason to play Ruby Storm, in my opinion, other than Galvanic Relay, obviously. All right, so when we look at the sideboard, you know, Echo of Aeons has become pretty stock thanks to Tony Scapone. Peer into the Abyss. They've stolen some of our tech from the Epic Storm, and, you know, kudos. Like, if it makes your deck better, borrow stuff. That's completely fine. These Pyroblast slots were silenced in my last video, but when we have, you know, Rite of Flames and stuff like that, it is better to have the Pyroblast, because on turn 1, if our opponents are smart, they're going to be looking to start hitting our mana once they see Relay, and this is going to help us. And you don't have to play it awkwardly. Yeah, so we're running Pyroblast. Although, one super sweet interaction you could do is Galvanic Relay, reveal a bunch of cards, pass on your opponent's upkeep, cast Stifle, or not Stifle, Silence, so they can't cast anything, and then you untap with Relay. Like, that's really sweet. Yeah. Like, that's a really cool line that you could take. You know what? Let's play the silences tonight. Let's see if I can make it happen. I'm allowed to change. This is my deck list. You're not allowed to tell me that I can't do it. Alright, let's drag these in here. Boom. We're running silence again. Can't stop me. It's 2010 Bryant all over again. Alright, so obviously we have to answer artifacts. The second Grape Shot, so you can board in a copy against surgical effects. Ignite the Future. This is strictly to help beat Narset effects. Hull Breacher, Leovold, all those, because it doesn't say draw. Which is part of the reason why Relay is so good. Then we have our Past in Flames, Reforge the Soul, and our Rip Aparts. This is essentially the Boros Abrupt Decay. It just answers everything. It's pretty sweet. Alright, so that's what I have to say about this deck list. If you have any questions, as always, leave them down below. Or if you just enjoyed this video, leave a comment, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I would appreciate it. Join the Combo Cabal. You're beautiful. Yeah, and if you want to support this content directly, you can always go to theepicstorm.com/donation decks. Submit your combo deck to be featured here. You know, show off what you got. Then there's theepicstorm.com/shop, where you can get a Storm 20 baseball tee, a pint glass, or one of our token packs. We're down to about 30 of the mini token pack left, so if you want to grab one, now is the time. Grab yours while they're still in stock. That's it. That's what I have to say on the intro. I'll see you in round number 1. Welcome to round number 1. We're on the play. I cannot wait to relay someone. Will it happen this game? I hope so. Let's kick it off. Yes, I'd like to be on the play. And I don't know what our opponent's playing, but we're keeping this for sure. We're going all in on Echo of Aeons. So currently the plan is Lotus Petal, Strike It Rich. So we're just increasing initial storm count mostly. And hopefully our opponent forces something they shouldn't if they are on a blue deck. Ooh, this pause makes me nervous. Alright, so we're going to sacrifice another Strike It, or sacrifice the treasure to cast another Strike It Rich. Alright. Let's do it. Please resolve, Echo. Please resolve. One time. One time. Hey, and we hit the relay. Oh, it's so good. All right, Lotus Petal, Opal. Ooh, they're F6'd. Can we just win here instead? I really want to relay, though. So remember when I said that we could probably cast Peer without Lion's Eye Diamond? I think we could do it right now. Our opponent F6'd. So let's just cast this, targeting them. Oh no. Poor opponent. We're doing all the things. I wanted to relay, but this is just better. They un-F6'd. So, I mean, that would have been the greatest bluff of all time if they, you know, secretly had something, but most people don't un-F6 after, like, once I add 7 mana. Like, that just doesn't make sense. Let's play the Burge. What a way to kick off this video. I am so excited right now. We could deck ourselves. I could literally reveal the rest of my deck right now. I don't think we should give our opponent that much info, but we could. And this is just super sweet. Who needs a Ruby Medallion? Get out of here. Cookies Ruby's too good. Patent pending. Don't steal that. Alright, so we've played one grid. Let's cast another. Can't stop me. Wish I had a way of looking at their hand. Well, oh, you're conceding? I was enjoying myself. Alright, so we've gotten game number 1. Should we board? I don't know. But, kicking the day off of the turn 1 on the play is pretty sweet. So if I was to board, I'd probably be boarding out Strike It Rich. And boarding in these. And this is just like a blind board plan. I'm not saying that this is right. It's just like a way of hedging if our opponent is on a non-blue deck. But if they're on a blue deck, I want to leave in the grids. Do I want to do this? I don't know. Let's leave 1 in there, and then we'll split the difference. Let's do this. Because I do want to keep Mox Opal being active, and Strike It Rich does that for us. So it's just, you know, a good way of staying consistent. Because if you overboard, you get punished. And this looks like a hand that's going to cast Relay. So kind of excited. Relay is just like one of my favorite cards from Modern Horizons too. Alright, we will keep this. Opponent's mulliganed. Jet Lag, what are you doing? Okay, Jet Lag's ready. Let's kick it off. What are you doing? Come on. Alright, so they're not a blue deck. So it looks like they're a Taxes variant. I'm not really sure. Like, the turn 2 play with Relay could be a little bit dangerous, is all I'm trying to say here. That was decent. So let's start off on the pedal. We're not going to pay the 1 for the Esper Sentinel. No, you can draw your card. We cannot get Hellbent. So it's pretty free here to play the Opal. And let's cycle Morphos. Why not? We're going to add red. Okay. That's just another spell for Relay. I'm good with that. Legend Roll, Chrome Mox. So this Relay is essentially almost a Wheel of Fortune that's one-sided. It's going to be a draw 6. We just have to be able to untap. And, oh, wrong tab. Okay. So Defense Grid's not really a card we want here, and we've revealed 2 of them, unfortunately. That's sort of a bummer. Okay. So the bright side is we can board out the defense grids for game 3 if we don't manage to win this one. That is still on the table. Alright, so I'm afraid of Thalia here. I'm afraid of Deafening Silence. Archon. So they likely have Archon of Emeria in hand, which is kind of scary for us. Ooh. Yikes. And we're going to see Archon of Emeria come down. That is one way of beating Galvanic Relay, that's for sure. Alright, I'm going to scoop this one up. We're not winning. Let's just go to the next game. Let's get rid of these defense grids. We definitely want Strike It Rich back. Now we have 1 slot. We should board in a Grape Shot. You know, it clears, you know, those pesky little creatures. But we do get to be on the play now. It's going to be harder for them to have Archon of Emeria when on the play. Admittedly, Galvanic Relay is not good on matchups where you need to win turn 1 or avoid a lock piece on turn 1. That said, our build can't really afford to board it out. We're all in on it. Okay. We're 1 mana short of casting Jessica's Will. This is like a little bit awkward. So you can imprint Grape Shot from Morphos and try to rip. And I think that's probably the best plan here. I'm going to keep this. Alright, so we're going to play Lion's Eye Diamond to start because we need the Metalcraft. Alright, Diamond's on the stack. Opponent could have a Mind Break here, but I'm not going to play around it. Imprint Grape Shot. Okay, let's cast the Morphos. Red. Ah, okay. So, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to cast Jessica's Will on turn 1. But next turn we will be able to Jessica's Will into Horn, if that's something we want to do or can do. We are looking to dodge a certain enchantment on turn 1. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have it. Sort of cool that the back half of Strike It Rich, which is the flashback ability, does work well with Galvanic Relay. Just being able to create a spell from your graveyard is pretty sweet. Alright, the opponent's turn. Let's see if we can fade. What are you doing? So it is worth noting one nice thing about Manamorphose is, let's say we draw a card for turn. It's a card we don't want. We can play Jessica's Will for at least 6. Let's say they go land 1 drop here. We can play it for 6 mana, play Horn, discard a card. Interesting that they chose to go after Strike It Rich. That's sort of a bummer because that's one less card they have in hand. So Jessica's Will add 1 less mana. Opponent looking at our deck right now. Alright, so you've resolved Surgical Extraction. What else are you doing? Chrome Mox. Yeah, the Thalia decks that can accelerate are usually fairly scary. And they imprinted a Thalia. For another Thalia. Okay. So we can play Burgie here, which essentially offsets this. Relay. Sort of a bummer. Okay. So we're going to just play the Berg. We do have to be afraid of Karakas. That's a card that could bite us here, but we're supposed to play Burgie, I think. It keeps Thalia back on defense. It does allow us to, sort of ignore the Thalia ability. Like, they effectively cancel each other out. Alright, so Stoneforge Mystic. I wonder what this is getting. Caldera, okay. And we do need like an Ancient Tomb or something to cast these because we have to pay the tax up front. It's a little bit different. So we need a little bit of mana, and that's painful. We just have to pass here. Okay, so now they're going to have the equipment coming down. And I'd like to point out, these relays are no worse than like what Ignite the Future would be in this scenario. Oh, it's brutal. That was tough. Yep. Unfortunately, I think we've lost to this weird taxes build in round number 1. Especially after our sweet game 1. Big bummer. Okay. I don't think we realistically have an out because, like, even with Rip Apart in our deck, we have to draw Mana Source into Rip Apart. The draw step is... well, that's part of it. So if I play Ancient Tomb into the Act on Impulse ability of Jessica's Will, it can't cast Rip Apart. It's just like off the table, so I don't know how good that actually is. That said, I don't think we're winning if I just pass, so why not? Let's exile the top 3 and see what our options are. And then from there I can always sacrifice Diamond if we want to cast something. I'm just going to pass the turn here. Don't really want to cast those cards or play those cards because it requires sacrificing the Diamond. So I think we just lose. They have a Wasteland. They're going to hit our land here. We have nothing going on. As expected. Maybe my mistake was keeping this hand in game 3, expecting Manamorphose to hit. It just seemed like I had so much promise. But maybe like back half of Burgie pass isn't a winning line anyway. Maybe that's where my flaw was. Okay, so we're taking 9 here, and then we're dead on the crackback, and I have 0 outs. Nice. So even if we drew Echo here, I could pay for Echo, but then we just have this up, and I don't have a good way of fighting through the Thalia. So like Echo would be our start. And that's going to do it. So we have lost round number 1 to Chalice and Taxes, I guess I would call this, because they have Ancient Tomb and Chromox. There's likely Chalice in here somewhere. This is definitely like a Phil Gallagher special. All right, 0 and 1. Round number 2. Once again, we're on the play. Let's try to get this one. So strike it Rich, Opal. The Opal won't be active. We don't have another artifact. Morphos is a little bit awkward here. I think that this is just a mulligan, unfortunately. This is interesting. I don't know what the opponent's playing, but I think we're supposed to bottom the right and imprint the Juska's Will. So the plan here is to go turn 1 defense grid, build into the back half of Horn. See if we can make it happen. Chromox resolves. Okay, so now we imprint the Juska's Will, and then play defense grid. Does it resolve? Opponent's thinking about it, and it does. Sweet. Let's pass that turn. So we're currently 2 mana away from the back half of Bergie, and that's how we're going to win this. So it is nice that Seething Song does accelerate into the back half, I will admit that, and this Thoughtseize is pretty brutal. Okay. Draw. Well, Ancient Tomb would have been a really good rip there. Instead, we're just passing the turn. I wonder if we're facing Doomsday or Ant, or if this is just like a weird bug mid-range deck. If I had to guess, it's Doomsday. Activate that Misty Rainforest. Alright, so Brainstorm's resolved. They've used their Misty. Dark Ritual Doomsday. Pretty good. Oh, it's Ant. I was not expecting Ant. I hope their ad nauseam kills them. Why are you stopping at 8? What are you going to flip? Alright, so now they're... Okay. Mean deck fluster. It's good to see. They're on a Dark Petition list. That's gross. Alright, so Lotus Petal. Dark Petition is not a playable Magic card. I'm sorry. Call me elitist. It's just the truth. So Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual. Yep. Cavalry. Petal. Diamond. Everyone's just going through the motions here. I've got nothing. Just cast your Tendrils of Agony already. Do it. And there's the Tendies. Alright, I'm not going to make them click all the way through. I'll concede, and then we can go to our post-board games. I think I do want to board out the grids here. I don't think that's a strat we really want to be doing in the matchup. Silence seems like a blowout if we can catch them off guard, so I do like that. We have to fill up 2 more slots now. We can board into Grape Shot. This helps us beat Surgical Effects. And then we have 1 more. I guess we could leave in like 1 grid to beat Flusterstorm. Or we can like board in a Rip Apart. Hope to hit like an LED or something. I think I like 1 grid more for beating like Flusterstorms and those sort of things. So I'm just going to hit submit here. Alright, I'd like to win this, so let's get better hands deck. And this is not it. We're going to ship this. I mean, I think I'm supposed to keep this. I don't know. Our opponent is not decided if they're keeping their 7. They did. So am I supposed to just like aggressively mulligan here? Or am I supposed to... Part of the problem is like I don't think this hand even does anything. So on turn 2 we play the front half of Bergie. I'm going to go to 5. This just doesn't do enough. And neither does this 4. These have been bad hands. So this is a 4-card hand that we're trying to keep here. So I guess we're going to keep. And then... Those two are pretty easy putbacks. Is that the best thing we can do? I don't know. So if I put back these, we can be Thoughtseize proof, and then we're closer to Pier if I rip a Burning Wish? Sure. I think we're going to need some luck to win this anyway. So Ancient Tomb, Diamond, Petal, Pass. So this makes us better against like the Duress Thoughtseize plan. I mean, it's just something to try. Don't you look silly. I hope you lose to a Moldafor. You thought that Thoughtseize was going to be good? Come on. Alright, so here we can use the Act on Impulse ability. Maybe I was supposed to sit on it for a turn. I don't know. That seems pretty good. I think we can wheel here. They have 6 in hand. So add 3. Oh no, we can't wheel. We're 1 mana short. Alright, so let's at least get this out of the way, because we're definitely doing that no matter what. Oh no, we have 8 mana. I must have forgotten about the floating mana. My bad. And now we can Burning Wish. So we can empty for 10 and shut off Ad Nauseam, or we can Reforge here. I could also get Past in Flames, but I don't think Past in Flames is correct. So I'm just going to cast Burning Wish, and then... Is it Reforge? Past in Flames has 1 mana floating. Yeah, like, even if it had 3... Because then you're all in on a Jusk as well. Faith in the deck, I guess. We're just going to play Reforge. Silence is a good pickup. I can't relay unless I get lucky and hit something good off of the Manamorphose draws. And in doing so, I take my shields down too. So instead, I think I'm just going to pass here. And if they go all in, we can blow them back into like the prehistoric age with this silence. Come on, try to kill me. Brainstorm. They've played an island now, and they're going to pass. Okay. So I think that this is a turn where we're trying to Galvanic Relay. They have 7 in hand. Let's Jessica's Will again. Target them. Step 1. Morphos. I don't think we're supposed to preemptively play the silence or even tip it off that we might have it. So instead, I'm just going to add blue in case we draw Echo. Rite of Flame. Now we're going to Morphos again. We're just going to add red, red. Red, red. And I think I'm going to play out the Grape Shot. Just for, you know, bring them down to slowly shut off. Ooh, I can flashback Strike It Rich. Let's do that. So flashing back Strike It Rich, get that treasure token, and Free Storm for Relay. Excuse me. And then I will Grape Shot. So being at 10 realistically does shut off Ad Nauseam. Alright, so these will resolve, and then we'll cast Relay. If they have Fluster, it's going to stink. And you might be thinking, like, well, you could have silenced. I could have. That's certainly a possibility. But I think we're supposed to try to crush them with the silence instead. And it's resolving. So now I look like a genius. I'm just going to F6 the rest of them. Ooh, I showed them the other silence. Now they know the jig's up. But look at this sweet, sweet draw step we're going to have next turn. And Brainstorm. Oh, Karin, am I dead? Tell me. Can you beat me through a silence here? I hope not. Honestly, a little bit surprised we're even in this game. For a Moldafor, we got lucky, hit the Act on Impulse effect, and off that, hit enough mana and resources to Wheel of Fortune. It's just like sort of a wild ride. Yeah. All right. So the opponent's playing Preordain here, which is fine. Like, Preordain's not a card we're afraid of. You've played another island. Anything else? Thinking. Yeah, you can have a Cabal Writ. Dark Petition. Sure. Are we going to get to silence them into the Stone Age? Usually this gets like a Lion's Eye Diamond, and then they discard their hand and flashback Past in Flames. That's what I'm rooting for here. A million years ago, when I top-aided a Grand Prix in Columbus in 2010, the Storm Mirror was all about dodging the other person's silences. It was not fun, let me tell you. Alright, Dark Petition is resolved. 3 black in their mana pool. What's up now? Are we seeing the LED flashback piff mode? I guess in theory they could have Sadistic Sacrament and just like crush me. That would be pretty scary. Alright, Lotus Petal. Sure. I guess in theory they could have gotten the Flusterstorm. And then I silence here. They fluster it and then kill me. And I could have played around it by responding to the Petal. Alright, so do you have the Fluster? I mean, if you have Flusterstorm and then with your last 3 cards kill me, I tip my cap to you. Alright, and now our opponent's passing the turn. And now we get to start our turn with all this banana cards. Like, the Relay's so sweet. It's just bonkers. Alright, let's play our Opal. Wonder what we're supposed to do here. I'm going to cast this because I can. Alright, so we do only need to get up to Storm 10. That's worth pointing out. Strike it Rich. So that's Storm 5. Storm 6 could be Chromox. Storm 7, 8, 9. So we're short right now. So if I was to flash this back, I'd be tapping the Opal and the Ancient Tomb. Chromox is free. So let's pretend we tap those two. Chromox is free. Burning Wish would be treasure +1 here. And then we need to use that and the other treasure for Grape Shot. Yeah, we can't relay. Part of me thought that like there's a chance that I have enough mana for relay. And even with the treasure we get from here, we're 1 short. So once again, tapping Opal and Ancient Tomb. That's going to flash back. So we'll have 3 treasures. And then let's just say for the sake of making this easier, relay off of the other Ancient Tomb and Petal. So then that leaves us with Petal, 3 treasures. Actually, that would be lethal. Am I messing this up? Alright. This is a free play, so let's just do this. And so then we have 3 treasures. Relay off of this and this Petal. Yeah, that should be lethal. I guess I just miscounted the first time. Okay. Relay, the best 3 mana storm spell that's ever existed. Alright, so we cast our Burning Wish, and now we just grab Grape Shot and end it. So we've stolen game 2 on a mulligan to 4. That's pretty sweet. But we still have to win game number 3. There is some natural friction between playing Silence and the defense grid, it's worth noting. But I don't know if we have a better option. We could like board in the Past in Flames as like another action spell that's good against discard. Let's try it. Why not? I'm up for trying things. On the draw, this hand's good. Good indeed. Opponent's considering their 7. Taking a little bit of a long time here, so usually that means they're, maybe mulliganing, and they did. We're going to keep our hand. I don't want to get too deep into the tank about what our turn play is going to be because, you know, Ant does play 7 discard spells, and it looks like leading off on Bayou, there's one coming our way. And there it is, Duress. They're down to 4 cards, so this Jessica's Will isn't as good as it could be. It's interesting to see what they'll take here. There's a lot of arguments for what their proper pick should be. It's, in my opinion, it's between Relay and Lion's Eye Diamond. And I think I'd probably lean towards Relay. Let's see what the opponent does. And they agree. It was Galvanic Relay. Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay. Draw. Okay. So I could, in theory, just like play the Jessica's Will. Maybe I wasn't supposed to play the Mountain. Maybe no, because I don't really want to sacrifice a Lotus Petal. I think I'm just gonna act on impulse here. Hope for the best. Alright, let's tap these for mana. Come on, deck, be good to me. What can we do with this? Nothing. Unfortunately, we're 1 mana short of Echo of Aeons. Maybe my line was just too aggressive. Jeez. There's nothing we can get here for 2 mana. Am I supposed to just, like, pass with this? I don't know. Alright. That stunk. I think I was maybe supposed to wait. It doesn't feel good. Now we're passing. They're at 3 cards, so hopefully we have some time to recover here. Thought Seize Me. Do it. Thought Seize Me. If we draw land, I can flashback the... oh no. For some reason I thought we had a Striker Rich in the graveyard. That is not true. I'm getting old, forgetting what we played this game. Okay. So a Lotus Petal would allow us to hardcast the Echo. It's a possibility. Strike It Rich would give us another blue, but we would need to be plus mana. And then there's 3 diamonds left. If we drew Burgee, Echo's an excellent card to discard. They still have 3 cards. But after fixing their hand with Brainstorm, I'm willing to bet that those 3 are pretty good. Volcanic Island. Am I dead? Nope, you're passing. Coward. Lion's Eye Diamond. Getting punished. I took the higher probability line and got punished. So the reason I find this humorous is, while our opponent resolves their Brainstorm here, we had 1 diamond in play, and I sacrificed it knowing that I had 3 diamonds left in deck, and I was more likely to win by having the ability, nice, to draw 3 diamonds rather than to the Singleton Echo, and instead we drew the Singleton Echo. But our opponent just did us a pretty big favor here, and we're going to try to win. But based on them passing a bunch, I sort of have a hunch that they have, what's it called? Manamorphose. Or not Manamorphose, that's what we're about to cast, Fluster Storm. So we're going to cast this Morphose, so that way we can keep our Petal around. We'll do blue-red. Sure, I'll play the land, I guess. And let's go get the Plateau out of the deck in case we draw Silence. Flashback. So Fluster would be for 3. Maybe I was supposed to sit on the Morphose. I doubt it, though, because that would allow us to hardcast the Echo next turn. Is this a Veil of Summer? Did you board in Veil of Summer? Okay. What can we do here? Well, we can definitely start by playing Burgee. Lotus Petal. And I'm going to auto yield to this Burgee trigger. I do think Ruby's probably at least on the same level as Ant, or at least close to it. So winning this would feel nice. Let's write a flame here. Woot woot. Now we'll Morphos, and I wonder what we should add here color-wise. We do have one Echo in the deck. Do we have these for colored mana? I think I'm just going to add red. It's a good one. We don't have a protection spell to get. Worth noting. But I could get Peer, which plays into Fluster. I could get Reforge. That's another option we have. But I think I'm just going to start off by playing the Burning Wish. See if they respond. Okay. So that actually resolved. Kind of wild. They're at 16. What about getting Ignite? I don't hate that. Let's ignite this future. It's not as all in as wheel. I get a little bit of extra mana floating. I like that. Interesting. So strike here makes a mana and a treasure. That's the nice part of playing it with Burgee. And this is going to make a bunch of mana, which allows us to flash back the Ignite. So we'll target the opponent here. Veil of Summer this. It's red. Alright, so we can flash back the Ignite now. Yes, I'll use up all this mana. Still a little bit nervous about Fluster. And we hit the Echo. We could, in theory, cast it. Let's cast this Morphos, though. Oh, I forgot that it's cast for free. Ooh, that's nice. I can actually hardcast the Echo for free. Whoops. So I can play the back half of this, which will make a mana. Alright, so this is pretty sweet. Alright, so Horn is being cast for the first time this league. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all in on Burning Wish. And if we fail, I guess I have to use both of these. If we fail, I can still hardcast Echo with a Horn in play. So we're going to add a red here. Go get our Grape Shot. And let's say our opponent does have the Fluster. We can still, cast this. And we've defeated Ant. Woot woot. Skill match. We're 1-1. 3 rounds in a row, and we're on the play. Let's do it. If this Burgee was a relay, I'd snap keep this. I don't think I can keep this though, unfortunately. I think we can empty with this. So we bottom the mountain, play Petal, empty Chrome Mox, Opal, 7 mana, Burning Wish, and they've capped. Okay. Well, let's try to empty some random person named Unknown, and I would like to empty these Warrens. It seemed like they had a response, so I think we're going to get Forcible this turn, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Come on. You're not going to Forcible a Lotus Petal. Let's pick it up. The Lotus Petal is resolved. Mox Opal. Chrome Mox. This is where I wish that we still had empty in the main deck. It'd be so good. Alright, so now we're going to target our opponent with Jessica's Will and we're going to attempt to add 7 mana to our mana pool. I guess I could wheel here as well. If everything resolves, I could wheel instead of empty. Alright. And this is where we get forced. Yep. Pretty obvious. I'm glad that you thought 3 minutes on a Lotus Petal. Alright. So we're not winning game number one. At this point, we need to figure out what our opponent's playing. And then, I mean, we saw Earl Force. So it doesn't matter that much. But maybe we get a little bit more information out of it. And now they cast Ponder. Draw. Okay. The climb has started. We're going to come back. You just wait and see. Forest into Sylvan. This deck doesn't do a real good job of punishing Sylvan Library. There's not even a Storm spell in the main deck that it's a win condition. So they can go pretty low and then just Forcible Burning Wishes, unfortunately. Yeah, we're definitely in trouble. I'm going to yield to this ability so I don't have to keep on clicking on it. I can F6. It just makes it so that sometimes stuff gets skipped if I don't talk fast enough. So here's an Abundant Harvest. And they revealed what? Misty? Okay, so they wanted a land. That's interesting. 5 cards still in hand too. And a Panda. So they're likely on Matthew Vuk's deck from the challenge this morning. Matt won the Saturday morning challenge with essentially Bant Miracles without any Terminus in it. Okay. So Strike It Rich here will turn on Metalcraft and then we can flash it back. So we're actually going to have a decent amount of mana right now. Woot woot. All the mana. Alright, so Sylvan will happen again. Our opponent should probably just be churning through their deck. I guess how we could theoretically come back this game is if we held a bunch of spells for Galvanic Relay and then relayed into a bunch. I guess that's how we beat these larger, slower blue decks. Nice Swords to Plowshares. So they have 6 cards, one of them's a Swords. I mean, they could have brought back Uro this turn. Oh no, they pitched Uro. That's right. My bad. I'm in the wrong here. So I think we start holding spells for Relay. Chase the Mind Sculptor. Okay. First spell towards Relay, Lion's Eye Diamond. We're hoping that the opponent just doesn't find a real win condition for a while and allows us to claw back into this. This is one of those games though where in the back of my head I'm like, why isn't there a main deck Grape Shot? But we're probably not going to be able to Grape Shot for 8 anyway. And the opponent has finally played their win condition, Jace the Mind Sculptor. And they're going to Brainstorm. We're just playing towards our 4 Relay. And what's the 1 white mana going to do here? Oh, it's, what's it called? It's an Exile Artifact, yeah. Prismatic Ending. Weird that they hit Chromox, though. I don't know if they know about treasures being artifacts. Yes, we drew Relay! There's a chance! Hell yeah! Hell yes. Well, let's go. Alright. We just have to build up some spells now. Another Strike It Rich would honestly be pretty good. Alright, so now this is an Uro. Tough, sure. Bounce my Opal. Do it. They're going to bounce a treasure. But I would like them to bounce my Opal. Jace. Are they going to use the Vista now? And they are. Okay, so they're going to 6. Once again, we can't pressure their life, so it really doesn't matter. Another cool thing that could happen, though, is if we drew Defense Grid and then they forced it, we could use their Storm towards Relay. Alright, so now they found their Uro, aka the Wincon. And we're going to have to fire off this Relay sooner rather than later. Another, wait, no. Yeah, that is a new Vista. Okay. Come on, Taff. Bounce the Opal. Be a good sport. No. Alright. Goodbye, treasure. So next turn they can put Uro into play. Alright. I don't think I want to play Relay for 4, so I think I'm going to wait. We just have to be able to plow through at least double force. So we want as many resources as possible. This turn they're going to put Uro into play, which means that the turn that we pass with the relay, we're taking 6. So we won't be dead. Honestly, we could probably take a few hits, but that's a little bit risky. I don't know. Another Jace Brainstorm. I think another relay would be our best draw, honestly. They have another prismatic ending here. They're figuring out how to, excuse me, how to cast it. You got it. Okay, so they were using their tough. I can't believe there's still a shot in this game for us. They're going to play Uro here. And we want to draw Galvanic Relay. Give me a second relay, please. Yep. I would also take a defense grid, because they'll likely forceable a defense grid. Okay. Draw. Okay, so we drew a grid. What I can do here, let's just talk through this. I can play Rite of Flame off this. That's going to resolve Petal, grid. And then we sack one of these to relay. And that's going to be a relay for 6, which might give us an outside shot of winning this. Alright. Yeah, the math checks. Actually, they might just let the grid resolve, which is also fine for next turn. If they counter the diamond, I'd be pretty happy. But they're probably going to let this resolve now because they can just pay for a force. I probably should have let off a little bit earlier on the grid. In hindsight, probably after the Rite of Flame. Small mistake on my part. Does it resolve? There you go. Alright, so forcible. Let's get rid of the treasure. And relay. You know I have a main deck fluster. Don't pretend that you do. So this is once again essentially a one-sided wheel for us. Opal, Tomb, Striker Rich. We need action and protection with these last 4. I'm sorry, just Ancient Tomb and Striker Rich. The Opal is exiled to Prismatic Ending. Burgie's a good one. Defense grid. I like this so far. Alright, I see you, deck. Another diamond? Another grid. That's pretty interesting. So we cannot cast the Echo with the alternative mode, but that was pretty solid. I can't complain too much about that. Brainstorm from our opponent here. I can't believe we're still in this game right now. So Uro's going to bring us to 10, and then we'll have 2 Ancient Tombs. I don't know why they were thinking so hard on that Brainstorm, by the way, because they're going to redraw it with Uro. And then use Jace's ability to look at 3 new cards. Alright, so they put 2 on top, but they didn't keep any. They're down to 4. I don't even know if, like, the defense grids are worth the mana. Because they can just pay for whatever they want. Now they're up to 5 cards after the Uro attack, and then they get to Brainstorm. So it is a sculpted 5, but even if we play double grid, they can still force at least once. I just don't know. And if we play Burgie, there's a chance they still have that Swords to Plowshares rotting in their hand. Because ideally, you would like sacrifice the diamond, play Burgie, and then play defense grid and all that other stuff. Ooh, Narset's brutal here because it's going to shut off the Echo. Alright. It's now worth noting that double grid would shut off all of their mana. Another force. Yeah, it's looking tough here. Yep. I don't know what we're supposed to do. So the Echo shut off. Burgie, I guess, would be our action spell here. but that doesn't feel good. Okay. So I think I'm supposed to... Like, I think that they likely still have the swords, but I just don't know what my other options are. Like, I think I'm supposed to just cast the front half of this one. Yeah, I think I'm just dead. Like, I can't generate cards. And they can unsummon an attack if I use the other. Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't draw, like, another Burning Wish. The Narset's just so brutal. Yeah, they've got me. Almost came back. I wonder if we want the rip aparts. And I don't know if we're supposed to be boarding in a grape shot here. I don't hate siding out Chromox in these sort of matchups because it's not all about speed. And then, like, also we can probably board out an Opal. Board in these. I have to find room for one more. Cut. It's probably better to board out like a Striker Rich. Well, that makes our artifact count a little bit low. 18. Could try this instead. Alright, I think I'm okay with this. On the play. Sure. You're gonna have to draw into a relay or something in order to make this hand good. But for in the meantime, just like double grid should buy some time. And it resolves. Nice. I'm gonna slide this back up here. Misty. Do you have a cantrip? Abundant Harvest? Abundant Ponder. Main Phase Brainstorm was not expecting that one. So 0 for 1 here. Draw. Just playing grid and passing. Relay's really the card we want to find. We could probably back half Bergie, but I don't like we'd have just the silence. Well, that stinks. That actually hurts quite a bit. We did side in the 2 rip aparts, but this deck doesn't have a lot of sculpting. That's the downside. Alright, so we'll just strike a Rich here. Pass back. The nice part is, if we can find our rip aparts, we do have double grid, so they're likely to resolve, at least for now. With the opponent casting a Brainstorm here. Misty. I guess if I do Burning Wish, I could get... Oh, we did side in a Grape Shot. That's another way of killing Canonist. Double Canonist. Alright, so that's sort of a pain. We do Burning Wish, we could go get Shattering Spree. Do I want to cast that? Do I want to play you? I think the answer is no. I'm just going to pass the turn. That's going to be very difficult to beat. Double Canonist is just so hateful. Oh, it wasn't a Collector Roof? I'm shocked. Alright, and they're using Flooded Strand for... What are they playing here? Close enough. I mean, I shouldn't have opened up my mouth, I guess. Ah, jeez. What a hateful list. You kiss your mom with this deck list? Come on. It's just rude. Yeah, we're going to unfortunately pick this one up. And we're going to be 1 and 2. On the draw for the first time in this league. No clue what our opponent B. Babka's playing. But this is at least a turn 1 empty for 10. Let's give it a whirl, I guess. Alright, and our opponent's taking a mulligan to 6. Leyline of the Void. Yikes. Well, good note. Leyline decks are usually not. So this looks like curses, I guess. Usually not force deck, so we might be able to get ahead here. And it is curses. I don't know what this is. So they're hellbent? Okay. I can erase a 5/5 demon. Alright, let's go. Mox. I probably should have been narrating this pedal. That was probably a little bit skippy. Mox. Diamond. Now we're going to cast Burning Wish for empty. I had to play the tomb, or else I wouldn't have had enough mana. I did briefly consider playing the Mesa, but the math doesn't work out there. Alright, so now we just empty these Warrens. There it is. And now we empty and pass the turn. Woot woot. This should be able to race another demon. They can drain us for 1 this turn, but who cares? I hate Black Prison so much. Like, it's a deck that I feel like doesn't beat many things other than decks I play. Like, I just lose to it all the time. Alright, so they drew a land. That's fine. And they're attacking. Bold. So we go to 12. I guess their out is like a sweeper off the top, so there's no reason in leaving any back anyway. So that's a fine attack. I shouldn't have said anything there. Alright, so now they're going to draw and likely concede. Concede, opponent. Come on. Just do it. Don't cast anything. Uh-oh. They paid life for something. I don't know what it could have been. What black card pays life? Is it like a dismember? Or is like they're a phantom ancient tomb tap? I'm not sure. That's weird. So we're gonna want these rips. Get rid of these grids. Clean 4/4 swap. And I guess we should probably board in a grape shot. I don't even know what we would board out here. Maybe you were supposed to leave one in the board for Burning Wish. Let's try that one out. If you want to support this content, go to theepicstorm.com/shop. Get your mini token pack. As I said in the beginning of this video, we only have about 30 of these left. So if you want one, now's the time to grab it. For $12, you get 54 Storm tokens. You get 20 actual Storm tokens, 10 black, 10 red, 5 blue, 3 of the rest. 54 Goblin tokens on the back for your copies of Empty the Warrens to get in the red zone. I mean, sometimes you have to empty for a lot, and this token pack has a lot of them. And they're half the size of a standard Magic the Gathering card. Make sure you get your mini token pack today. Game 2 on the draw. Let's see if we can steal another game from Curses. Well, this hand doesn't have any zeros that get wrecked by Trinisphere or Chalice. That said, this hand doesn't do a whole lot. For Science, let's keep it. Love Science. Opponent's taking a mulligan. Alright, let's go. The old Dark Ritual Trinisphere deck. I hope you get locked under it, and I kill you with a Burgie. Just not good deck building. I'm going to fetch now, just play around that creature, Opposition Agent. So we do have 3 copies of Rip Apart in our deck to remove this. Come on, please tell me you're locked under your own Trinisphere. That was a good one. Burgie coming in. I would love to just attack them to death with Burgie. Elvish Spirit Guide. What is this? Sphere. Okay. They have 1 card. I mean, sure. Let's start crashing in. So this is going to cost 4 mana. And the back of this is actually going to be 6. So I think we're supposed to just pass the turn here. Hope that our opponent's stuck underneath their own cards. Alright, well, they have 6 mana. What is it? Is it the... Okay, Leyline. So we're dead to a top-decked Helm. If we draw Rip Apart, it's going to be interesting, an interesting decision on what we destroy. That's for sure. Well, that doesn't do anything. I think I'm just going to pass here. Next turn, we can maybe Jessica's Will for lands. Did they draw it? Wow. Back-to-back draws of Leyline into Helm. That's insane. Yeah, you got me. That's just bananas. I can't believe that. Okay. Yeah. I wonder if we're supposed to board in, like, silence to silence walk them? Is that crazy? Like, what if we board out the Echo against the Leyline deck and we board in the silences? And just, like, on their upkeep silence them to, like, time walk? I mean, I think I'm going to try this. It's a little out there, but it seems okay. Is this good? So I can play Burgee, play Opal, which makes 1 red, and then I can't do anything. Or I can relay for a bunch. Really wish this silence was something else. Crap. This hand's so close. I just don't know what to do. So I can relay, but then I can't silence on their upkeep. And I can Burgee, but then I can't follow Burgee up with anything. I just don't know. And it's not like either card I boarded out would have been better than this silence either. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Part of me thinks I'm supposed to just play Burgee pass. Because, like, if I relay and then they Trinisphere or Sphere me, like, this relay is going to be garbage. But if I lead on the Burgee, I can theoretically still have game. Just really wish this Manamorphose was like a Chrome Mox or something else. Ruby Medallion would honestly even be okay. But I don't think it's supposed to be Ruby. Like, I honestly don't think Ruby's supposed to be in this deck. Opponent's gone to 5. Alright, 5 cards versus our 7, but who knows. We're going to add red here. The Berg is in play. What can we do? Thoughtseize. Turn 1 Trinisphere. Sort of punish for not playing out the Opal, but I don't think I was supposed to. This is going to be tough for us. We're like pretty far away from casting Rip Apart, even if we draw one. What is this? Karn is a good one. So they should probably plus Karn, if I had to guess, because if they minus it just dies. I mean, I'm going to attack Karn. If they want to block with their Trinisphere. Please attack! Please attack! Oh my. Could have been so good. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing if they block here. We're just going to pass. It would have been amazing if they attacked with Trinisphere. The way that Trinisphere works is if it's tapped, it doesn't work. So if they attacked with that Trinisphere, we could have gone bananas. Would have been so sweet. Alright, they have 2 cards, and they're currently stuck a little bit underneath their own Trinisphere. Honestly, I feel like the right move might be for them to animate Trinisphere again and then block. But they're allowed to do whatever they want. The issue for me is, like, I can't use these Opals or the rest of my artifact mana for mana when Karn's on the table. And this Karn is more valuable than the Trinisphere, in my opinion. Opponent's thinking a long time here. Alright, so they've chose to plus Karn on nothing. Okay. Land. I'll take a Chrome Mox. So our opponent's just buying time with this Karn. Yep, there's the Trinisphere. I think they're honestly supposed to block with it, but who knows. Attack Karn. And they made the right call. So it stinks for us because we can't even do what we want with the relay. I think I'm supposed to just like pass here. Discard this silence. Please don't punish me. I just need to draw a red source. Oh, crap. Interesting. They minus the... What are they getting here? Do they have like a sideboard Trinisphere or a sideboard hate piece? Darksteel Citadel. It could have gone that last turn. I can't believe this is the line they took. They must have Helm in hand. I don't know if there's anything better I can do. So it's like pretty free for me to just like play one Chrome Mox out here. I can't believe this is the line they took, by the way. Yeah, I'm not going to imprint. Let me punish you, please. Alright, so now we play another copy of Chrome Mox. I don't know if I'm supposed to imprint here. I don't think I am in case this Jessica's Will just like, or this relay just misses. I think I want to keep the action spell in hand. Alright, so we get 8. They have to draw the land for the Helm here. And they did. We're dead. That's brutal. Yep. That was such a... That was not a good line, but it doesn't matter. Rough. Yeah, we're 1-3. Let's try to get this last one around the play. See if we can get at least half our entry back. And this one's not good. I'm beginning to think Metamorphose probably just shouldn't be in this deck. Like, there's been multiple times where I've drawn it this league where it's just incredibly awkward. And once again, yeah, this build probably shouldn't be playing it. We're on 5 now, so we can get rid of the relay and this right and just echo on turn 1. Let's hope it resolves. So we're going to play our Mountain, Chrome Mox, and print Strike It Rich. And go get Echo. Looks like we're facing another blue deck. I don't know what far 208 does. Sure. This league has been brutal. Alright. It's going to be an uphill battle. Alright. So, we realistically need to find the other Echo, I think, if we're going to try to win this. Yeah, so despite if we win or lose this match, like, I don't care. But I think if you're going to try to push the core of this deck even further, we need to remove Metamorphose. Like, I do think the Galvanic Replay package is still really good, but I think Morphos needs to leave, and I'm not sure for what yet. Alright, so we can just replay the Chrome Mox here, and then Defense Grid. And then, because they forced the Burning Wish instead of the Echo itself, if we rip another Burning Wish, we can Echo. So we have the main deck Echo, and then 3 more Burning Wishes outs right now. And our opponent's just playing some sort of weird blue-black control deck. Okay, come on, Burning Wish. Cycle. Add red, red. Alright, so I don't think we're gonna be able to like save up enough mana to play the back half of that, but I could be wrong. Merchant Scroll. I have no clue what we're facing right now. Is this someone's like CEDH deck? We're losing to it, so I probably shouldn't be making fun of it. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna pass. Incoming, they're one of him to Torok. There's no reason to play out Petal. We are a Galvanic Relay deck, so it's just like lost value by playing stuff we don't need to. Speaking of Relay, what is this? Alright, they've chose not to cast anything. Sweet. So, I mean, we're a ways away from it, but a line we can theoretically look into is if we draw like Ancient Tomb, we can go Ancient Tomb, Burgee, Lotus Petal, Relay is a way of getting back into this game. Alright, the attack from Brazen Borrower, now our turn. Draw. Manamorphose, my nemesis. We're just going to pass here. We're going to save that Morphos. So Morphos here is sort of interesting. If we draw a land for Burgee, we can play Petal, which will give us 1 red. Oh, it really is a deck full of singletons. Okay, that's wild. So if we draw the land, I guess they're threatening lethal, because this flies. Oh, no, it's just flash. So I can block with Burgee next turn, hypothetically. Assuming that our opponent has nothing going on. Okay, so we're probably dead here, but we have a small chance of doing something. We need our opponent not only to have no counter spells, we need them to have no removal. That's the boat we're in at the moment. So, yeah. We're going to add red here. And this is going to create 3 red, and then we relay. But it's just so unlikely. Alright, so no, we won't imprint and then relay. Metamorphose is just like so awkward. It's probably just not good enough without Ruby. There are just like too many opening hands that were just like 1 piece off because they had Manamorphose in it. It could be Mishra's Bauble. That would be a card that would have been really good in that previous game. The problem with Bauble and Relay itself is that when you relay into Baubles, you have to wait a turn to draw. That said, they are really good at helping you play turn 1 relays for a bunch and turning on your Metalcraft for free. So there's a chance that these Manamorphose should probably just be Mishra's Baubles. That would be a reasonable call here. Yeah, we're just slowly turning this deck into mono red TES. That's the goal here. So we've already convinced everyone to play Mox Opal and Curl Mox. Now strike a Rich and Rite of Flame. Mishra's Bauble. It's just like TS's greatest hits, but mono red. We should probably have Silence in the deck. Let's test with no Morphos, because this card stinks. Let's try this out. Are we going to 1-4? We're going to lose to the Lutri deck with their Singleton Force of Will? For what it's worth, I don't think that they have 1 Force of Will. I think that they're probably a Lutri deck where if they feel that they can board into Lutri, they do. Otherwise, they keep the other 3 in the main. This is good. We're going to try this. So we're going to lead on Chromox, Imprint, Burgee, Petal right. Let's just make sure that everything resolves. Or maybe we should play the Petal first. Because we need both these to resolve anyway. And you'd rather the Ritual get forced than the Petal. Okay. So our deck has a chance of doing its thing here. 6 free cards! Alright, so pretty decent so far. Yeah, that's a great 6 cards. Sweet. Now we're passing to our opponent here. We just have to dodge them doing anything too hateful. Preordain is not that hateful. Alright, so our deck, match 5, game 2, finally doing its thing. How special. Alright, so let's strike it rich. Opponent has 7 cards. I guess we can silence. So now we can play Pier. Add black mana, cast this Jessica's Will targeting our opponent. So many mana. Burning Wish. I would love to cast Pier. And then from here it should be pretty easy. Okay, so we should like take the free thing and just play around some card that we can't name. Like if they had a Mindbreak Trap, they probably would have used it, but it doesn't hurt to just like make sure you can't lose to it. I realize this is like bad sequencing that I played the Burgee second, but I don't care. We need to cast spells and make mana. Alright, they've seen enough. Let's see if we can get game number 3. I mean, it ran pretty smoothly there, but that might have just been like a above average draw. Yeah, I certainly don't hate converting Manamorphose into baubles. Seems sweet. Okay, game 2, and we're on the draw. We've opened up a garbage hand. We're definitely shipping this one back. Okay. This is going to be a tough hand for us, I think. I think we're supposed to try to play this one a little bit more slowly. Maybe save these Jessica's Wills if we can. I'm not really sure. Inquisition. I believe they're supposed to go after the action and not the mana, so they should take Jessica's Will. But we'll see if they decide to go for Lion's Eye Diamond. Typically there's this rule that you discard the thing that your opponent's lacking and not the duplicate thing. That said, this deck has so much more mana than action that I think it's right to go after the action. Lucky draw. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Polluted Delta from the opponent. I wonder if we're supposed to like save some of this stuff or not. Like try to build up more. So this could make 5 mana. I could double relay this turn if this resolves. That seems like a good enough reason to me to cast it. Okay. Double relay does seem a little bit bananas. First relay. Alright, what do we have here? Rite of Flame, Ancient Tomb, Galvanic Relay, Burgee. Okay, and now we're going to sack this and cast the other relay. So we have 9 cards coming our way next turn. The opponent won't know what hit them, or they will because it's Galvanic Relay and they can see what hit them. Defense Grid's a good reveal, and a Burning Wish. Nice. The old Thought Scour. Okay, so we need our opponent to not do anything hurtful this turn, and we have a chance of going 2-3 in this league. Draw. Let's do it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I'm going to lead on Burgee. And from there I can go Ancient Tomb Defense Grid, and that will make a mana to cast these rights, and then I can play Strike It Rich. Alright, so the opponent's using their Polluted Delta. Drown in the Lock. You got it. Defense Grid. So now we can imprint the Strike It Rich. We can set up another relay. Wonder if I'm supposed to reforge the soul here or Past in Flames. I think the answer is actually Past in Flames. Let's Past in Flames. So we finally got the cast Past in Flames this league. It's probably not as good in the deck that just like cut a bunch of rituals. They have 4 cards in hand, so these Jessica's Wills will make 1 mana. So that will bring me up to 6, and then we can double relay again. Or this one. I don't know. Target them. It's going to be a lot of cards. So alright, so this is 13. Our next one will be 14. Look at that. Those are a lot of cards that are exiled. Alright, opponent, you have to do your worst this turn. I hope it's not that bad. 27 cards off Galvanic Relay. That's just bananas. I love it. Slundy Isle, okay. And here we go. Our opponent said some nice words in chat, and we've gotten the 2-3. Alright. So, if I had to make my recommendations, I think this deck was actually pretty sweet. I just think that these Metamorphos should be Mishra's Baubles, and then I would play that in a league. Maybe I'll record again in a few weeks, but I don't want to keep on uploading similar deck lists. So maybe in a couple weeks I'll upload with Mishra's Bauble in the place of Metamorphos. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Sorry it was only a 2-3, but I do think we demonstrated the power behind Galvanic Relay and how good Strike-It Rich is at creating Metalcraft for Mox Opal. That's what I have to say. Let me know what you thought. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Ruby Medallion's better. Maybe Metamorphos is what this deck needs. I didn't really miss Seething Song, to be fair. I know it allows you to just like play the back half of Burgie, but it didn't feel like that was the engine as much anymore as it was Galvanic Relay. Yeah, maybe I'm just entirely wrong though. So make sure to leave a comment down below with your thoughts. See ya. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.